3, 2, 1.
What happens when you take a man who's a comedian?
A wife who isn't, but should be. I know what you get. You get scattered noodles and lost marbles.
Alright, that's right. Scattered Noodles and Lost Marbles. And on this very first podcast, I am joined by my very special friend, Stacy. How you doing, dude?
Hey, I'm doing really good. I appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight.
Well, as you know, like when we and I were talking to around, I want to talk about funny family and friend stories and a comedian. And to around this episode, we're planning on talking about Robin Williams. And I tell you what, there's some of the stuff I found out about him, and I've been a fan of his for many years. I mean, since I was a little kid, I remember him being on Mork and Mindy. But did you know he didn't even get started on Mork and Mindy?
No, I didn't know that.
No, that was where he actually got his stardom kicked off. But he actually got it on an episode of Happy Days. He came on Happy Days as Mork, and turned around. It kicked off from there. Next thing you know, they were getting him his own special, his TV special, and there you go. But he started doing stand-up comedy in like the mid '70s. So yeah, you probably have to talk just a little bit closer into it.
Yep. A little closer.
There you go.
There we
go. Yeah. But yeah, all the stuff that happened with him, it's just so amazing. I turn around, I've done a lot of, you've heard me do my stand-ups, and some of the, like, when I talk real funny and whatnot, whether it be a redneck or, hey, how you doing and whatnot, that all because I've learned it from watching him. And it's just something else. I mean, from all these movies he's ever done, Mrs. Doubtfire, Flubber, I mean, it's just been one heck of a journey for him, clear up to the time he passed away. What was one of your favorites?
One of my favorites was Good Morning Vietnam. When he did a lot of his stuff in there, that was just fantastic.
You wouldn't happen to be talking about a real famous phrase that he happened to have from there like this, do you? We're not even connected. How do you like that? Tell me the show ain't gonna go great. The first one, and we got a little screw up right there. The Bluetooth didn't even connect. How do you like that? So, and people are going, if this is the way it's gonna be, this ought to be kind of interesting. Well, that's what it's all about, people. They're around to have a little bit of fun with it.
That's all the way to be.
Oh, I'm telling you, Stacy, turn around. You've set me up for failure a couple of times. Especially like doing karaoke. I remember that.
Trust me, we still have to do another karaoke. I mean, we're not done with this yet.
Well, let's follow up to that one. Yeah. Now, Stacy is 5'17", right?
Minimum, yes.
Yeah. And people go, 5'17", they get 6 foot. Yes, hello. Don't do the math. You'd be screwing yourself.
That's all you gotta do is just think about it, you know.
Right? But Stacy, when we went out to do karaoke, him and his wife, who was a good friend of mine, she's one of my dance partners, 6 foot tall, I'm 5'4". Picture that one in your head. But I remember you turned around, sat there and said, hey, after I got done doing Ray Stevens' streak, hey, you want to do another one by Michael Jackson, PYT?
PYT, I've been a perfect one for us to do.
I know, right? That's so I had this going through my mind the whole time. And then all of a sudden, when they called you on up, they said, oh, I had to go too. And I'm like, all right, here it is. But you had me lost when you had that chair sitting out in the middle of the floor there and told me to sit down.
You were going to be the one serenaded, bro.
Serenade. Now, for those of you who don't know, turn around, Sonny and Cher. Sonny was shorter than Cher. And lo and behold, when the song came on, he had chose I Got You, Babe. All right? And guess who got the part of Sonny? Guess who got the part of Cher? It don't match, right?
But it was perfect all the way around, man.
And there is a video out on my page, turn around the SparkPlug page, turn around for people to see. And by the way, I'm really bad at times. My name is SparkPlug, so if you turn around and want to follow me on Facebook, just look for the screwball that's got a blow dryer up to his mustache. But yeah, I turn around, get on out there, and next thing you know, I Got You, Babe starts playing, and I'm like, this is a funny version of PYT I've never heard of before.
But I That's you, babe.
No, shoot, yeah, you definitely did. But there you go. This was the famous phrase everybody loves to hear. Good morning, Vietnam. Yes, sir.
Loved it.
Oh, I'm telling you.
But you know, he had so many changes, personality, voices, everything that he utilized in that movie. Being a broadcast, but if you really will kind of watch how that thing was, you being a veteran as yourself and going out there, actually having the opportunity to hear something like that, that would just make your morning. You know?
Oh, I'm telling you, because, I mean, he entertained from adult side clear down to the kids. I mean, look at Aladdin, Happy Feet, doing those voiceovers. I mean, shoot. He even did special appearances in some of these TV shows, like Law and Order SUV. What was it? 8 is Enough. You remember that old show?
Remember that one, yep.
8 is Enough. He actually played as a band member.
Oh, I did not know that.
He turned around and played a band member in there. Played on Friends, and doing his stand-ups. I can tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen, turn around. If you haven't seen it in Walmart or haven't heard of it, I recommend you get this right here. This is called Robin Williams, A Comic Genius. It's got 5 of his specials, HBO specials that he's had. And there's a lot of extra footage on here. I mean, we're talking 841 minutes.
That's perfect.
So, I mean, you're talking like, what, 4 hours worth of stuff here. I mean, on top of the stand-ups, he does some of the improvs on there. Clear back to his first one. What was it? It was called Off the Wall, 1978 in San Francisco. And I remember one of the first stand-up comedy video audience I heard of him was Reality What a Concept. And here I am in grade school, listen to Reality What a Concept, and it's like, oh, come on, people, you got to be kidding me. Because that was also during the time frame of Richard Pryor, but that's going to be on another episode. But yeah, it was on a cassette tape. That showed the age a little bit there, too.
We're still young, man. I still got my cassette tapes.
I know. Shoot. Well, yes, but we've been through a lot together. It's like, but the movies that he's done, one of the worst ones they said he's ever did was called Old Dogs, and the best one I believe was Good Will Hunting.
Yes.
According to Rotten Tomatoes, this was according to Rotten Tomatoes, not by my own personal deal. My personal one, Good Morning Vietnam's right at the top.
Yeah.
As far as screwy stuff, and a lot of the ad-libbing he did for Aladdin. Oh yeah, turn around. Genie of love.
Nobody better than me. Who's a friend like anybody else, right?
Oh, 10,000 years can give such a pain in the neck.
No, there's the one that I don't think I ever really fully watched was what was the one 1 Hour Photo.
1 Hour Photo. I don't think I ever heard of that one.
That was not too. I mean, that was just me. That was his personal impression. He was more of a dark character in that one, and but the rest of them, I really honestly can't say that there's one that I did not like from him.
No. I mean, and to have anyone to try and pick any bad one, the one that a lot of people don't like, and even he admitted to this one, was Popeye.
Popeye.
Yeah, when he did Popeye.
There ain't nothing wrong with Popeye.
It was kind of a little weird, but I mean, I could deal with it, but it was just not what you expected from to me, a Robin Williams deal. And shoot. Yeah, another thing that I found out about him was that, you can watch this on Superman, Christopher Reeve's documentary on HBO Max if you got it. Turn around, him and Christopher Reeves were really good friends. They were like brothers. Mm-hmm. It was to a point that when Christopher Reeve had his accident, he turned around. Robin Williams had actually bought and had a van specialized for him to be transported around in. So, and then every year during the anniversary of his accident, turned around, he hosted a party every year for Christopher Reeve. And it wasn't because try and bring them back those memories. It was because said, hey, look, celebrate life. Turn around, you're living it. You're still going good. You may be paralyzed, but, and we're still here. And he never let them down, and they never talked about the accident on those anniversaries. It was just there to have a good time and celebrate life. And personally, I think that's what it's all about. I mean, shoot, if you don't laugh at life and laugh at some of the stuff you've gone through, shoot, you're
not living.
No. Shoot.
And you think about it too, because even when he did the with Bobby McFerrin.
Oh yeah.
The,
Don't worry,
don't
be happy.
You watch his expressions in that video just itself. Yes, you hear the song and everything else, but when you watch all those individuals, those 3 individuals, 4 individuals doing that, you just had so much fun. He was enjoying life. He was really putting out to make others laugh at the same time. But you hear that song today, what does it make you do?
Yeah, I know, right? And you know what? I've watched that video so many times. You know that there's one spot in there, if you listen closely, in my opinion, I tried turning it on up, tried focusing it, turn around, just narrowing in on it. But at one point when he turned around, gets ready to walk off because the little moves he didn't go right. I could swear he said, son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he did. And that was back at the time when you were supposed to do that.
Yeah, right. But I mean, this was on a music video, It's like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? It's like, rewind. Yeah, I do believe he said
that, yes. But that was a great one because, this is like you said, taking that on. There was a lot of enjoyment in life, and if somebody doesn't make you laugh and you can't laugh about some of your experiences that you've had, you're not living.
Well, shoot, you can testify to this. I went through that stage 4 cancer.
Yes.
Colon rectal cancer, and a lot of people thought I was crazy for still being happy and whatnot. Even though I'm sitting here staring at stage 4, but yet it's like I told people straight out: if you turn around and let your immune get depressed, your immune system's going to go down. So why not keep being happy? And I believe in God, so I knew one of 2 things was going to happen: either He was going to heal me, keep me here, or He was going to bring me home. So when I went in for my last radiation treatment, I had done not my last one, second to the last one. I had pulled off a stunt because of what had happened during the consult.
Yeah.
With the nurse there. She turned around, she's like, well, yeah, we turn around, we have people come in all the time, have fun, whatnot. I said, no, you don't understand. And my wife turned around and sat there and said, hey, he's a stand-up comedian. And she showed the picture. She's like, whoa, I didn't realize that. She goes, the reason I say this is because the guy that came in here for his last treatment, he was getting the same thing done as you. Turn around, you had to get up on the table, lay on your stomach, and get the radiation done, right? So he had gotten hold of glow-in-the-dark paint and put his hands in it. And turned around, put one on each butt cheek. So when he got up on that table and had to drop his drawers a little bit, all I could see was 2 handprints. And I'm like, wow, top that. And sure enough, so when I go in for mine, I handed in my phone. They're like, what's this for? I said, I want you to take a picture. They said, of what? You'll see. I climbed up on that table. I threw a green apple in my mouth, and I grabbed my feet. And they were like, oh, my gosh, are you freaking kidding me? So I figured if I'm going to be being zapped like a stuck pig, why not look like one and give everybody a good laugh?
There you go.
And that's why I just said, so you don't let the worst parts ever get down to you, because, you're going to miss out on a lot of fun.
And you do. And you really do. Both of you and I have been through some situations and stuff, and if you don't look at the bright side of it and just laugh about it, then you take that and laugh with it going forward. So
yeah.
I love it.
It's, like I said, I just can't. And the comments, I'm going to tell you all right now, if you got a comment, you need to make it.
Yes.
Bottom line. Because if you hold back, you're going to lose out on some of the funniest stuff. I don't know how much material I've lost because I turned around and didn't write it down after making it. But, just as an example, one guy, he was in the break room. Now, I'm not going to use other people's names that ain't here, just kind of save face type deal. But this guy was sitting at the next table, and he had this clear casserole dish. You remember those square clear casserole dishes?
Yes, I sure do. Yep.
All right. He had one that had fudge in it. Well, it looked like fudge, right? And it's like I said, hey, let's say his name's Bob. Bob, is that fudge you got there? He goes, what? So is that fudge you got right there? He goes, well, brownies. And his buddy goes, well, fudge brownies. He goes, yeah, well, fudge brownies. I said, really? Did you pack that yourself?
Yeah. See, that's a quick wit right there.
And this is what I'm talking about. His friends at that table got the biggest laugh ever, and it's because it didn't hold back. If you hold back, you turn around, ain't going to have it. Oh, hold on. You got a little mechanical difficult. There you go. And there we go. Now you should be able to move it.
Good to go.
Oh, yeah. Yep, you can stretch it on out. There you go.
That
Is that better?
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go.
I just saw it moving. I was not going to lose it.
I can see it now. I'm over here watching you hold a rod, and that's not something you normally say to another man.
No,
all right?
That's my wife take care of it. She watched.
You take that out home and keep it there, but but yeah, I just loved all that stuff that Rob Williams had. I mean, shoot, he's done so many different ones too. I mean, to being a gay person in that movie Birdcage.
Yes. A lot of people probably don't remember that one, but that was a really good one too.
Yeah.
So.
Voiceovers. I mean, it's just amazing how many he did. And he died 3 weeks. Ready for this? 3 weeks right after his 63rd birthday.
I heard about that.
It was like, according to that documentary that I saw with Christopher Reeve, he sat there and said that Glenn Close said straight out, she really believes that Robin Williams had lost a major part of him when Chris had died, and she said that if Chris had survived, she has no doubt in her mind that he'd still be here to this day.
Agreed.
So, yeah, if you get a chance to watch it, it's called Superman Christopher Reeve Story on HBO Max. I highly recommend it. And like I said, this right here, this video, you got 5 discs in there. And I tell you what, you can take it home tonight, and start watching it, whatever you want to, just kind of see some of the old stuff. But it's it's actually hosted by Louis Black, who also is another comedian.
Yep, sure is.
And Robin's manager, David Steinberg. So you hear all kinds of stuff, stories behind the stage and whatnot, seeing him getting prepped, ready to go out on stage as well. So it's actually kind of neat to see. But I'm telling you, Stacey, what's one of your funniest moments you can remember about us going out? Or what do you got one? You not even talking about us. What about you, Terrell? What's one of your funniest deals that you've ever had dealing with someone?
So, you're talking about the whole the fudge thing and everything else. I worked on a large feedlot out in western Kansas growing up, and this is my high school years and stuff. But we had I was working with a maintenance group, so we would always have break time about the same time. But the cowboys, girls, would have break times before us. One of the guys, his wife made cookies all the time. And by the time it was our turn to come in as a maintenance group to actually eat those cookies, they were gone. It was usually the cowboys that would take care of those. They'd eat them before.
Fingers.
So his wife made a decision one day. She goes, well, I'm going to give you guys 2 different plates. One's going to be red. One's going to be green with the cellophane on the top. So make sure you guys eat the green ones, but leave the red ones out there and start out the day. So for those of you that may or may not remember, X-Lax was just like chocolate. She had switched over the chocolate chips in the ones in the red cellophane.
Oh my God.
And the Cowboys got those. And we were wondering how come we hadn't seen the Cowboys for several hours after we had our break. And it's because it was kicking in and taking off.
They all were hitting the outhouses big time.
Well, they got us back the next couple of days with paintball guns. So yeah, that's all good. So
outhouses, bushes, whatever was available.
They were gone. Let's just put it that way. There's a lot of running Cowboys and chaps. So,
Shoot. Yeah, because I've known you now since, 06, 07? Yeah, 06. Yeah, 'cause ain't that when you and your wife met? Was 06 or was it at the end of it?
So we met in 10. My wife and I did. So.
Oh, shoot. Was it that much later? Okay. I thought it was earlier than that, but
Yeah,
I mean,
09,
teaching all that dancing, because that's where I met you at, was when I was teaching country dancing on Wednesday nights. Shoot, I still remember the funniest thing dealing with your wife. Now, like I said, people, I'm 5'4", she's 5'12".
Yes. To the penny, people.
I remember she said the reason that she goes by 5'12" is it makes her feel shorter than what she is.
That's right. That's right.
Don't being a tall woman. But I remember asking her several times, hey, you want to dance? And she kept turning me down. And finally, one day out of the blue, she goes, hey, Mike, you want to go dance? I'm like, sure, why not? So we go out and hit the dance floor, and she had sat there and said, hey, you ever wonder why I kept turning you down? And I was like, well, the thought crossed my mind. She goes, because as tall as I am and as short as you are, as much of a pervert as you are, I see you go num 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 num.
All day long.
So, finally, you can't argue with that,
True.
When you got a reputation for something.
And it still sticks, man.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, so that's why whenever her birthday rolls around, I'll always sit there and sing happy birthday, numma, 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 numma.
And she loves it too. She does. She doesn't admit it, she'll just smile. You know?
You must have been talking to him again, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
But
no,
you-
we met around 2010 because that's when my wife and I started dating and stuff from there. So, but yeah, we've did a lot of line dances and stuff together.
Oh yeah.
We actually went to dances and stuff in Salida a couple times.
Oh yeah. And we felt like rock stars when we went on out there that one time.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Because
yeah.
everybody was sitting there watching just our little group out there doing these dances, and they're like, "Wow,
Don't
show
know
us."
how we were doing it.
Yeah.
Teach us, teach us. It's like, yeah, Mikey, come on.
Here, let me sign your autograph right now. Make it out to who?
Too easy. You guys would have made your VIPs out there, you know.
So were you there when I pulled that stunt on everybody about a new line dance? I got the whole dance floor packed when I turned around. Well, I sat there and see if this rings any bells. I remember when I went in there one day, and Chuck and I, we always sat there. You know how we always introduced everybody, and you know, say, "Hey, hope they have a good time. These are the dances we're going to do." Well, I popped off when it was my turn to talk, saying, "Hey, I got a new line dance to teach everybody." And Chuck looked at me like, "Oh, what?" I said, "Yeah, not even you know it, so come on out here." So what I did, people, is that I got everybody packed out on the dance floor. I mean, there was no room to move. And I sat there and said, "Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to start off by taking your hands and slightly put them in your pockets. You're going to take your right foot, kick it across your left leg, bring it back. Then you're going to take your left one, kick it across your right leg, bring it back. And you know me, I break it down little by little, so we're going to start from the beginning. Right, left, right, left. We represent the lollipop kid." People, I can tell you straight out, I don't know how many different names I got called that night, but I can tell you one thing, I don't think any of them's in the English language.
Dude, but they all enjoyed it at the same time.
So anytime I say I got a new line dance to teach everybody just kind of looked at me like, "What?"
So, I'm not learning until you do it first for us. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. And see, that's where you say, you turn around and take advantage of moments like that, because you never know where somebody's going to get a good laugh.
Very true.
And Jeff Foxworthy said it best. He said, "You know what? You don't know what kind of situation that person out in the audience is going to be. Turn around, they be fighting financial problems, mental problems, and whatnot.
Yep.
And if you can make them laugh, that helps them forget their problems, even just for a straight moment. And that's one thing. Talking about our main person here, Robin Williams. That's one of the things he fought, was that because he turned around, had this depression, and it was a stage away from second to Alzheimer's that he was suffering from. And that's one thing about, they said that some of the comedians, they fight stuff like that all the time. They just try to hide their stuff to make somebody laugh, because they're going through depression. And my wife, she asks me all the time, and I'm like, "No, if I am, you'll definitely know it." But because I won't hide it there, even though we all joke around here at home. But the thing is that to fight that, that ought to tell somebody you ought to be pretty special to be laughing at something he's doing for you, because he's actually probably fighting the depression himself.
Yeah.
So, and that's one of the reasons I enjoy doing what I do, to hear that laugh. I mean, that's an ultimate high. I'm sorry that to hear him laughing. Well, my name, like for example, SparkPlug.
Mm-hmm.
People wonder how I got it, and you know the story behind it.
Yes.
I got it from Larry the Cable Guy, but it wasn't to do stand-up, but it was because I was calling into a show. And so I figured, what a better way to take on us doing stand-up than taking it from a man who gave me that nickname, from a famous comedian himself. And because I told everybody straight out, would you rather hear SparkPlug or Michael Threlkeld?
Either way's good.
Yeah. What was that guy we're going to go see tonight? Mike what? How do you say that last name?
SparkPlug makes it easier, man.
Yeah, SparkPlug just turned around, just makes it right there. Hey, if you can't remember the word SparkPlug, you got some serious issues. I'm telling you right now.
But people don't understand, if they haven't met you, you are a SparkPlug, man, because you're just instantaneous, man, ignition.
Well, like I said, you can't forget it. I got a good one for you. The girl at work, she works on second shift. Now, there's very seldom little times I will bite my tongue, but certain times you got to do it and just say, screw it. Because one day she had turned 21, and I kept meaning to ask her, hey, how was your 21st birthday? Well, finally one day I remembered to ask her, and so I asked her, how was it? She goes, oh, it was okay. I said, did you go out? She goes, no. I said, you didn't go on out and show off your ID like, excuse me, most people would, legally get a drink. She goes, no. She goes, I just stayed at home and played with my cat. And I'm like, I gotta walk away.
I can't imagine you held your tongue for that long after that, though.
Well, let's put it this way. I didn't hold it talking to anybody else about it.
You're talking to me about it. It's good.
And I'm telling everybody out there, if Lord knows if she gets a hold of this podcast, she's going to go, oh, so that's what he was thinking.
She knew, It's like,
Well, one of the comments I got her with one day was she was, at the time frame, she bought her first car, and it happened to be a hearse. How many people buy a hearse to turn around just for your own personal car? So
not for a personal car, but everybody to each their own.
Yeah, right. Hopefully Beetlejuice ain't sitting in the back with you.
That's right.
But turn around, she had told us about it. Well, I overheard her telling two other guys that I work with that how she don't allow anybody that's bleeding to be in her car anymore. And without missing a beat, I looked there and I said, how's that work for you? You walk to work every 28 days?
No. True.
Yes, I did. These guys ducked me to Jesus. What the hell?
Vegas.
And without missing a beat, though, she had a good comeback. She goes, well, it don't work for me because I'm on birth control.
So she just okay.
Yeah. So it's like you can't miss those opportunities. As long as you turn around, as far as I'm concerned, as long as you make yourself an appearance that you're a happy-go-lucky person, you like to have fun and whatnot, very seldom are you ever going to come across somebody that's going to say, all right, I'm going to turn you in for sexual harassment. Now, of course, there's probably going to be some, but...
There's still going to be some of those. I'm kind of laughing about stuff like that because thinking back to the episode when he was on, Robin Williams was on Martha Stewart and was actually working with the meats and everything else like that, and they were supposed to pat it and everything else. But when you watch it, Martha Stewart was keeping a very professional type, and she was dying inside.
Oh, yeah, she was.
Pat it like this, for this long.
You turn around, and you rub the meat for 30 minutes. Well, after 30 minutes, if you turn around and you don't get excited by then, you're doing something wrong.
Exactly right. Exactly. So there's just things like that,
You just slap the meat.
Slap the meat. Slap the stomachs.
I love that bit. I've never seen that. It was like, I stumbled across that. I'm like, oh, no way.
Yep. And she was taking it just golden, but you could tell she was trying not to laugh.
And that's where his ad-libbing was great. I mean, improvising, shoot, on this DVD set. Wait till you see it. There's a spot in there where, you remember John Ritter from Three's Company?
Yes, very much.
Jack Tripper? All right. For those of you who don't know, that's a show that came out in the 70s, 80s time frame. And it was about a guy who was rooming with two women. Well, turn around. He was in the audience, and you'll see some of the other stars in there. Henry Winkler, Fonzie, he was in there as well. But he turned around and had John Ritter come up on stage. And they had asked the audience, all right, give us a topic to deal with. And it came out to be talking about a man goes into a French restaurant. Well, Robin Williams happened to be the French waiter. So, next thing you know, there's one part in there where John Ritter gets splashed with water, and he looked at Robin. He goes, Robin, I don't even know what I'm doing here. He goes, 1 minute I'm sitting in the audience watching you. We came here to watch you, and now I'm up on stage all wet and without missing a beat. He goes, oh, you're ready.
You're done. You're good.
So that's why a lot of the stuff I turn around, I can't resist because it's like men like him, to get that quick wit, and you just can't miss a beat. If you do, you'll miss out.
That is very true.
So,
that is very true.
Have you ever got put in a position where you came out with a quick witted one?
There's been a couple of different times where I've done that. I've worked with a good group of people right now, my full-time job right now, but there's my NCOIC who is actually my operations. He's very quick-witted like yourself. And there's been a couple times where I popped out, and it's like, he kind of looked at me like, wait a minute, you're supposed to be the professional. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not at this moment, I'm not. So.
Do you realize who my short friend is?
He doesn't, but we need to introduce you to. So,
Big new Al Pacino. Say hello to my little friend.
It is, but yes. Never thought about it that way. So.
Shoot.
Just to bring it on over, So.
Well, somebody pointed out, a lot of your friends are all tall. I'm like, I never thought about it. And then when I got going through all my pictures, I'm like, and nobody's short in here.
So we kind of have a little laughing thing because my NCOYC, he's 6'6", and I'm 6'5", so we have this height thing. We put a board up in there, so we have this big whiteboard that we put all our stuff on. Well, we put the markers on top, so you have to be a certain height to work in there.
Mhm.
To reach the markers, that's what gets you hired. So, you know. We always bring people in and go, can you reach the markers? Oh, you can't be hired here, sorry. You know?
Can you take me higher?
We call that vertically challenged, you know?
Pick me up, please.
Just hold me here. So.
I remember when I got deployed to Iraq, they turned around, people were asking me on how I was driving, the semi-truck. And I got tired of it. They'd making comments from booster seats to chalk blocks on the pedals and whatnot.
Did you have the phone book on your feet?
Well, that was underneath my butt.
There you go. Okay.
So I turned around. The yellow pages, let me tell you, it sucked when I got to that part of it. But it was also a good thing because if I had to take a leak, nobody would yell.
That's right. That's right. It was already there. So.
But I had a lunchbox, a little pail that turned around. I kept my Bible and a couple other things in. And I told my buddy, I said, I'm going to fix these guys once and for all. He goes, why? What are you going to do? I said, you'll see. So I turned around and had him give it to me, and I gave him my camera at the time. And what I did was I put that lunchbox on the gas pedal, and I turned around and put my foot over top of it, and I said, now take a picture of that. When we turned around, got to our next stop, I handed somebody the camera, and next thing you know, I didn't see that thing for 30 minutes. They were going around going, no way, he didn't do this. So I said to her, yeah, have fun. Make fun of yourself. Shoot, I do all the time.
You got to do it because it keeps the laughter going, you know. And as long as you're good with it, you know, everybody else is going to go right along with it anyway. So.
Well, my wife, she got me one time when I was out on the road driving a truck over the road. I remember she turned around and told me to get these turkey sticks from Old Wisconsin because I always got the Old Wisconsin beef sticks because they were good. They turned around were easy to snack on. But Walmart was out that day. Excuse me. And so when I got it, I turned around and took them out on the road. Okay, they're supposed to be healthier for you, not too bad.
Right.
I gave it 2 shots, and I called her on up. I said, you know, when I get home, these things are coming out of my truck. And she said, why is that? I said, well, first of all, they taste nasty as can be. I said, second of all, they're dry as hell. And without missing a beat, she goes, oh, you like moist beef sticks, huh?
There you go. I knew that.
So it's just one of them deals, you know. Have fun, laugh at yourself. If it weren't for you at times, I tell you, it's well, when we got to doing that Sonny and Cher deal, around, some people don't know that I used to do the Chuck Berry's My Dingling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if I told you this story, and if I did, turn around, these guys haven't, so we're going to let these guys know. When I started doing that as a karaoke, it was by mistake.
By mistake.
By mistake.
Tell us, come on.
I turned around, well, my girlfriend at the time said, do you like to do karaoke? I said, yeah. She goes, well, they got one here in Junction City. She said, but it's at a gay bar.
Mm-hmm.
Said, okay, as long as they don't mess with me. She goes, no. So, okay, no problem. And everything was good. I mean, people were nice. I went up and did Poison, Every Rose Has Its Thorn. And I went and sat down and started drinking my beer. Well, next thing you know, DJ hadn't called up the next person. So I'm like, this song sounds so familiar. So I go on over there and I look at the monitor. I'm like, oh, I know this song. I start singing it, and about halfway through it, I realize I'm singing Chuck Berry's My Dingling in a gay bar.
Mm-hmm. Were you getting phone numbers?
I got one standing ovation, though.
So we're honest. This is what it is.
I'm telling you, it was so much fun, though. And the bartender just leaning around the corner. Well, then fast forward so many years to 2010, we got invited to a Halloween party out there at Chuck's house. And my wife hadn't given me a wedding date yet, so she asked me what I wanted to go as. I said, I wanted to go as bride and groom. And smart ass me left it at that. Well, guess what? The joke was on me because guess who went as the bride? Guess who went as the groom?
You look really good in that dress, by the way.
I had to lose some weight for that, people. Let me tell you.
I'm sure you were supposed to be in white, though, were you? So.
With my reputation, I don't think they'd make a color for me.
No. Little ruse, you know.
I was like, oh my gosh. And then next thing you know, the kids want me to do Chuck Berry's My Ding-a-Ling in a Wedding Dress. And for those of you who want to check it out, just go on Google, not on Google, on YouTube and type in Mike's Ding-a-Ling. And the first thing that'll pop on up is yours truly in a wedding dress. It was just one of the things. And then, of course, fast forward a little bit more to you, turn around and set me on up for Sonny and Cher's.
I got you, babe. So.
Well, this turned around, all this stuff is turned around just adding fuel to the fire for my wife. You know why? Because she told me straight out that when she first met me, she thought I was gay.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Turn around, she goes, I thought you were gay when we first met. I was like, what made you think that? She said, well, it was that purse you were always bringing in every Wednesday night for dance lessons. I was like, a purse? I didn't have no... You're talking about a camera case that I had. She goes, well, you say camera, I say purse. Well, whatever. Turn around. But being with these women, turn around, didn't clue you in. I was nowhere near being gay. She said, no. She said, a lot of gay men turn around, hang out with women. All right, that's fine. That's number 2. So I'm like, all right, final question for you then. If you thought I was gay, what made you sleep with me later down the road? She said, well, I wanted to see if I could turn a gay man straight, and guess what? It worked.
There you are. I got married.
True story.
And a girl.
Stacy knows Cindy all too well. And as you heard on the introduction there, turn around a wife who isn't but should be, she's funny as can be. I mean, she's also quick-witted at times.
Yes.
And if I'm not careful, I'm on the short end of the stick and not you guys, all right? So
That's the best place for Mikey to be, though, sometimes, right?
yeah, right? Because otherwise it's like, woo, happy land.
There you go.
So there's a lot of stuff that just, like I said, if you have fun, you can't miss out. I mean, your life will be a lot better. No, I live by oxymorons all the time. I mean, look at my Christmas hat. It says bah humbug, but yet I'm farthest thing from being Scrooge. So
I'm going to keep that. Just had a thought because you're military. You know, I'm military, but you know, we're both intelligent. So there we go. So,
just don't say counterintelligence because
just don't put it together.
It's like you get these two together. It's like dynamite. Go one's the wick, one's the powder.
Don't touch them together. So.
I just hate to see the wick go into the powder. No. Certain images, you guys are going, I don't care to hear about that one. Well, guess what? It's there now. So,
and now it's in your thoughts. I can
that's
right.
that. Yeah, oh my gosh, I just love it. Oh, the event I host every year, or don't host, but I DJ every year and MC down in Cedarville.
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys have talked about to try and get down there one time, but the couple that got me to doing this every year, this will be the 6th year I've done it for them. They're a little bit older than I am, and one night when I was done, excuse me, I had the equipment all broke down. And me and a couple of guys, we were going to go over to the pavilion and drink a beer and turn around and watch the live band. And he goes, well, hey, I'll come join you boys. About that time frame, here comes his wife. She goes, oh, no, you're not. She goes, you're going to stay right here and watch this fire. Because I'm going to be up at 2 in the morning wrapping meat. And without missing a beat, I looked at him and said, you guys are still using condoms?
Oh, gee. Did she turn red?
No, but I felt the butt end of a knife go up my side. And of course, everybody did that little ducking like they've been shot at, you know?
Yeah, they didn't want to be in the lane of targets. So. Expect fire or not, they weren't going to be a part of this. So.
Well, my buddy Bradley J came around. He sat there and asked me, he goes, why do you come up with this stuff? I said, you know what the sad part is? It just flows on out. So it's like, you can't miss it. And I can remember one of my first jokes that I ever made. I was in high school. And I've always been a screwball even before then, but in high school, I was sitting in music class one day, and I looked at the guy next to me, and Chris, I know you're probably watching this and listening to it, so see if you can remember this one. I looked at him, and I was like, hey, Trump, I said, you know how long it would take if we went from here to Chicago on a rocket? He goes, no, why? I said, well, I was hoping you had the answer. And turned around and went back to sit down. He goes, that's so stupid, it's funny. He goes, and next thing you know, I heard him laughing and a couple others laughing as they overheard this.
So then they figured it out. I was like, yeah, there you go. Did you ever figure it out by the way, Mike?
No, turn around. I can tell you one thing. I was not good at science, so I could not figure out on the trajectory and all the angles and all that
Geometry, man.
Geometry,
we'll work that a little more. So.
Trigonometry, it's going to take a trigger to go. But,
there you go. There you go. So.
Shoot. Oh, by the way, did you hear about the proctologist that got left behind?
No.
He was an asshole.
You see that?
I did that the other day. I made that joke up, and these guys are looking at me like, "Oh, Kevin, help us." So
there's never a dull moment around you, man.
That's why I live by those 4 words. Well, a whole phrase now. It's like happily avoiding humanity. Never a dull moment by happily avoiding humanity.
There you go.
So
there you go.
That's a phrase you got to live by, because my kids sit there and say, "Do you ever take anything serious?" No, there it is. I mean, shoot, to tell anybody I didn't get depressed at all during the cancer time frame would be a lie, but, for the most part, I stayed upbeat.
That's right.
So,
that's what you got to be, man.
Hell.
Be optimistic.
Yeah. Even when I got a foot injury, I turned around, I went out there line dancing on crutches, and people just looking at it like, is this guy for real? So, it's what I say, turn around, if you can give them that shock look, oh man, it's all worth it.
Oh, yes.
It's all.
Oh, yes. And it gives you the story to talk about later. So, them and everything.
I dare to even ask what you must have thought when you saw me for the first time out there being a screwball.
Hey, as a screwball, you're just having fun, man. And really, honestly, I still remember this when you were doing the DJ stuff there at the place in Junction City, when you were doing, what was that?
Chicken with the train.
And you're bouncing around up there doing everything. You're just having a blast. So truthfully, man, you do enjoy life. There's no doubt.
That was a fun time, because it got to a point where I put it on, I think, just out of, I think somebody had asked to hear it. And when I heard it, I turned around and figured, well, just to have a little bit of fun up here. And next thing you know, that became a signature song for me. And anytime that song came on, people were always looking right up to the DJ booth for a good show. So
you gave it too. So.
It may have been only a few minutes worth, but turn around.
That's all it got. See, by the way, he was out of breath. That's why.
I was lip syncing, people. I'll tell you right now, I was lip syncing to that, because how Cowboy Troy does it so much. Oh my gosh! Chicken with a Train. If you haven't heard it, by Big and Rich and Cowboy Troy.
Very good.
Look it up and let's do it.
And just think about him. Just think about Mikey dancing. So.
Oh yeah, turn around. It's like I always had them moves down. I even remember at one point I started taking it out on the dance floor, just for people to watch.
Well, that's because they couldn't see you back there. So.
All I could see was my hat just moving across the top here. Go
again, vertically challenged.
There's something up there. I can see it moving. Take my hat off, turn around, and see the glare coming up, looking like a searchlight.
Yeah, I got to see your keychain check too. So,
Oh yeah, turn around. Yeah, that was another key point of me at the bar when I was dancing, is to have that key rings on my belt loop.
Yes.
Because you heard the jingle, you knew I was out there. So.
Chicken the chain.
Yeah. Chicken the chain instead of chicken with the train. I gotta make a parody.
Either way,
I gotta make a parody song of that.
There you go.
But it's just so much fun. I love it. And hey, granted, I haven't been able to get out and about to all these other neighboring states and whatnot to do my stand-up, but just to turn around the little bits that I do, excuse me, it's just so much fun. That's why I wanted to come out here and do this podcast for you guys, is that hopefully you might not be able to see it, but you can hear some of the funny stuff that inspired me to do the stuff, stories like Stacy and I are sharing here, and to talk about some of the comedians that are somewhat integrated with the funny stories we got. And that's why I said with Ron Williams, when he fought that stuff, he turned around, he wouldn't let it drag him down. He turned around and make somebody laugh. And even though I'm not depressed or anything, that's one thing I do, is to try and make them forget their deals and get a good laugh. Because why take everything so serious? I don't think I ever taught a dance that was... granted, I taught the right steps, but I don't think I ever taught it serious, did I?
No, you didn't. Chuck a lot of times would be serious. That's just Chuck. But yeah, you bring that extra light and involvement and enlightenment to it.
Right.
And there was a lot of fun with it. So
yeah, I think that's one of the reasons we kept it always packed in there.
Yes.
Every Wednesday night.
Yes.
The only time we didn't was like when holidays would roll around, or some people would go out to summertime and do some grilling and whatnot, but 9 times out of 10, that dance floor was always packed.
Yes, it was.
And it was hard for me to stand up front. But I remember just coming on off the road one time and went to teach a dance. And I brought the dance into the club because Cindy, she sat there and showed me it. So I learned it, took it down there. And I come off the road one time. It happened to be on a Wednesday. And I got a chance to teach one. And they wanted to learn how to do this one. I'm like, all right, I'll show you how to do it. And I know the steps inside and out. And it's, you're taking your right foot and you go 1 and 1, and then you come back 1 to the left and 1. And then all of a sudden you do a turn. And I sat there and said, it's 1 and 2. And Chuck's like, wait a minute, is it 1 and 2 or 1 and 1? I said, well, if it was a 1 and 1, then it wouldn't be a 1 and 2. Instead, it might be a 2 and 2. So if you get a 2 and 2, you might end up with a 2 and 1, but you're going to go right back to the 1 and 1. So why not do the 2 and 1 and call it 1 and 2? Whatever works. And these people were like,
what?
So, hell, even Chuck lost what he was doing. So.
Yes, he did.
And people sat there and said, did we come out to learn dances or did we come out for our comedy show? I said, both.
That's right. That's right. And that was always the fun part about that, was always coming out there for a good time. You learned something, but you also had a good time of friendship.
Oh, yeah.
And laughter. So.
And some of those pictures I look at nowadays and go, man, I actually was skinny back then. Now I look like a roly-poly that's bought and paid for.
It's called gravity pushing down. That's not anything else.
Oh, shoot. I tell you what, if that's the case, I'm going to be shorter within the next couple of years. I'm already 5'4".
You say I'm 6'5". I think I'm reducing myself as we go each year, man. So.
You're going to be catching up with your wife being 5'12".
That's right. That's right. I'm counting it down.
So I just love it. And I'm glad you got a chance to come on over tonight and do this with me. Shoot. And this first podcast, so we will keep this going as much as possible. And my wife will join us from time to time. And I hope you come back again because this has been a lot of fun. So
I like that. I like that.
Well, as you can see, what we're going to do is we're going to actually talk about a comedian on every show and see if we can somehow integrate it with what we like about him, what we didn't like about him, what it involves with us nowadays as far as, what inspired us, what turned around and got us doing some funny stuff. Did we have anything similar? And as y'all can hear, we turned around, we had a lot of stuff similar with Rob, and especially with the opinions we had on some of the movies. It's people, you just got to learn to love life, have fun, laugh at it, make a comment, turn around, take a stab at it. Even if it sounds stupid, you never know. That'll make somebody laugh because they're going to go, huh? What?
Very true. Very
like some of the dad jokes. Oh my gosh, that thing's driving me nuts. But you know what? There's some of them are so stupid you can't help but laugh.
You got to. You got to.
And the worst part is, I am a dad. I'm a dad of 3 natural boys of my own. But between Cindy and I, we got a total of 9 kids, 11 grandkids. So it's like, so if you don't have a sense of humor with that big of a family, you've got some issues going on, let me tell you.
But they're always going to remember that as the grandkids and the kids, though, man. There was always laughter. They're going to remember it.
Well, heck, they turned around. They got me good one year. The first year I was going through that cancer, Christmas time rolled on around. They sat there and knew I had a good sense of humor. So what they do, they brought in this little Santa Claus gnome for me for Christmas. So that thing sat with me forever and a day. I still got that to this day. I keep it in my pickup truck. Right now it's upstairs, but I usually keep it in the pickup truck with me. So all year long, I had it in the semi truck with me when I was on the road. I just, hey, turn around. It is what it is. I'll turn around. I'll make fun of my size all day long.
I'll make fun of my size too. So
yeah. And Cindy makes fun of my size, but sometimes it's this right here.
She loves it. So,
but we're going to go ahead and wrap this on up. But I hope you all can at least learn from this that comedy is going to be there. You don't turn around and take it personal. And if you do, you turn around, you're doing it wrong. I'm telling you right now. There's no right way. There's no clean. There's no dirty. It's how Jeff Foxworthy said. He goes, it's just funny. It's just different styles, like music. Turn around, you got rock and roll, you got country, and all kinds of different genres of music. If you don't like it, change the channel. It's like the comedians. If you don't like their style of comedy, just step out, wait for the next comic to come on, or turn around and sit there. If you listen to it on or radio, change the channel. And that's one thing I tell people straight out. If you don't like mine's PG-16 and higher. So I do got some clean stuff, but
I'd make it 18 and higher.
okay, 18 and higher people. Let's put it this way. I can make it PG-16. There we go. There you go. But it's really fun to do it. And if that's one thing people analyze in jokes. It's like, wait a minute, you come there to laugh. Why are you going to analyze a joke? Well, that didn't make sense. It's not supposed to.
No.
It
is not. It's supposed to be. I mean, a lot of times it's going to depend on, sometimes your audience, because if your audience is in a good mood, they're going to take everything that's being said in the proper ways. And have fun.
Especially if they got enough alcohol.
Yeah, true. That never helps,
Have another drink, person. Hey, a cloud across the road.
There you go.
He said the cloud across the road. Oh my gosh.
So it's like you never know. And so don't take it, analyze it, take it at face value, laugh at it. And you'll hear over the course of all these other comics that got in here how it all came about. I mean, think about it. Clear back then, these people would make fun of their own color, their own race, their own gender, their own religion, their own, you name it.
Their own family?
Yeah, their own family, yeah. Well, this one here is good for it, I'll tell you right now. So, my son doesn't miss a beat, my wife doesn't miss a beat.
It stays in the family.
I'm telling you, I've heard of staying in the family, but these guys
it's a little different.
So, but yeah, like I said, people just learn to love life and just laugh at it. I mean, because if you don't, hey, you're the one missing out on a good laugh. And if anything, you might actually be hurting a friend of yours and turn around by not making them laugh. That's the way I see it, hey, we've been laughing for, 2010, this is 14, oh my God, 24, so 14
You
years.
should see my abs now because of the laughter.
I look at some of the pictures and oh my gosh, I was so damn skinny. 145 pounds back then. About 145, 136 pounds. And Cindy still goes to this day. She goes, "Can you fit in your jeans yet?" Shut up.
Your old jeans or your new jeans?
If you're talking the length, yes, I'm good to go. But if you turn around talking the waist, well, I'm not going to try and snap that thing because somebody's going to be getting hurt somewhere when that thing goes boom.
That's right.
Meanwhile, I could go through the next two houses. It's like people go, what the hell was that?
Watch out. He's putting the belt on again.
Turn around, maybe call 911, say, hey, we got somebody with a shooter in an area. That bullet just came through our house. Oh, wait, never mind. I've never seen this kind of bullet before, but you guys might want to check this out. It's a little flat. They turned around, must have had so much pressure when it hit the wall. Turn around, flattened it right out.
Exactly.
But it's Stacy. Anything else you can think of to turn around and tell these people about laughing and having a good time?
And you think about that. I'm not sure if on this video that you got here, if it has Robert Williams talking about the origins of golf. Every time I play a game of golf, I always kind of thinking about that. And that does put a chuckle in there. And I'm not going to ruin it to the crowd because I absolutely love that part of that skit. But, it's just things like that. If they hit you just right, you're going to remember it, and it's going to come to you when you least expect it. Going to make that smile. Yeah, it's going to change the life altogether.
The origins of golf. It's actually on one of these DVDs.
That's an excellent one. So.
Yep. So, people, I encourage you to turn around and get Robin Williams, a comic genius, through Time Life or Walmart, because like I said, that's where I got it at, was at Walmart. So, and yep, we're still recording, but we're getting close to the battery going dead. So, we're going to go ahead and wrap this on up, people. We hope you enjoy this podcast, and remember, Scattered Noodles and Lost Marbles. Just look it on up, turn around, keep us going, and leave a comment. Tell us what you'd like to hear different, what would you like to see different. Turn around besides me sitting here, turn around on the phone books.
Yeah, and he is, trust me.
Hey, I dialed a few pages while we were sitting here. So
I know you did.
So, y'all, enjoy life, and remember, never a dull moment by happily avoiding humanity.